Yes.
You know? Even when we are talking about reading the word and every part we read, without rooted faith, all those things we are studying, we can't put them to use. So we must understand that faith is the root to everything in life.
Praise God.
That's why we spoke about faith create blessings, and now we are speaking about faith create favor.
Amen.
You know, we're going to speak about faith creating favor. Because we all remember quite well in Hebrews 11:1 what it said about faith. Because we must go back again to read that. Then when we are going through the word, we will see, you know, why. You know, Hebrews 11:1, it said, I'm going to read the NIV first. It said, now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Now, the King James said, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Amen.
The substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Which means that when you are hoping for something, you already feel it that you have received it. Because substance, this microphone stand is a substance. Substance is an object you can feel. So when you are hoping for something, you need to feel as if you have received it.
Amen.
It's like somebody, you are hoping that your bank account is going to be filled with money, and yet you are already living and acting like you already have it.
Amen.
That's what it means.
Amen.
You are hoping for that, so that's why he said faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, then the evidence of the things not seen. Though the money is not yet in the bank, but you are already acting as if it's already in the bank.
Amen. Amen.
Now we are going to see, we're going to just go through some few passages. I want us to look at Proverbs chapter 3, starting from verse 1 through 4. Proverbs chapter 3, starting from verse 1 through 4. Amen?
Amen. Amen.
He said, my son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart. For they will prolong your life many years and bring you what? Prosperity. And bring you prosperity. So as we are studying about faith and about the law of faith, you need to put it in your heart. You need to let it guide your ways so that it will what? Bring you what? Prosperity. Verse 3 said, let love and faithfulness never leave you.
Yeah.
He said, let love and faithfulness never what? Leave you. Bind them around your neck.
Yeah.
Amen.
Write them on the tablet of your heart.
Amen.
Love and what? Faithfulness.
Yes.
For he said, then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. So, what did he say you should do before you can win the favor in the sight of God and man? Is that you should he said, love and faithfulness, let it never depart from you.
Amen. Amen.
It's like when you are committed to doing something, be faithful in doing it.
Amen.
Be faithful in doing it. I don't care what situation you are going through. Let your faithfulness not depart. I don't care whether you could not feed yourself last night. Let your faithfulness remain. Because no matter what you go through, as long as you allow your faithfulness to remain and you bind it around your neck and you write them in your heart as a tablet, he said, then you will win favor.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
And a good name in the sight of God and man. Amen. Why is favor so important? Favor is so important because, let me give you an example. If God gives you a vision of a project and you are trusting God and you are saying this project will come to fruition, and you're saying that you have no money in the bank, you have nothing to write to your name, but you know that this project will come to life and you are going to make it work. Then, when you are faithful, when you have this faithfulness that you are tying around your neck, that you have placed in your heart, that you never let go of the vision God has given you, and you remain under the will of God. And he said, as long as you do that, very soon you will receive favor with man and with God. Why is that favor important? Because you have nothing.
Amen.
You have nothing to accomplish that vision which have been given you. You need favor.
Hallelujah. Amen. Amen.
You need what? Favor. You need favor. There is no man that made it to the top without favor.
Right.
Amen.
Amen.
Show me the man that said, I just grew up, I made it on my own. No, it was favor.
Favor.
It was favor.
Favor.
So as the children of God, favor is very key, because we must understand that favor is the key to us entering that promise of God.
Yeah.
So we must remain what? Faithful.
Yeah.
Love and faithfulness must not depart from you.
Hallelujah.
Pray it into your life. Because you see, there is something about I've taught you about consistency before. Many people are not consistent. As soon as they see that things are not the way they want it, then they back out.
Amen.
As soon as they see things are the way they want it, then they move in. So when you are going back and forth like that, you are not walking in faith.
Amen.
Amen.
That is why he said, let it not depart from you. No matter what you are going through, no matter what you are doing, no matter what you are experiencing, don't allow the love of God and the faithfulness that is in you to depart from you.
Amen.
Oh, the pastor said we're going to build businesses and we're going to do all of these things. It has been 2 years right now. Nothing has happened, so I'm going to leave. That's what happens. Lack of faithfulness.
Amen.
Anything you are doing, remain on it. No matter whether you see it or you don't see it.
True.
The project I'm working on, I remember there was a day my partner called me and said, you know what? I just feel like, I said, don't say it. Don't say that word. And because I told you don't say that word, he said, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and writing down the plans, writing everything. I said, yeah, good, that's good. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Amen.
There are times you get to a place your flesh is telling you quit.
Yes. Amen.
Your brain is telling you quit. Your flesh is telling you quit.
Can't be bothered. I'm tired.
That is when you need to reload.
Shut the door. Switch.
Amen.
That's when you need to reload. Because when the flesh is telling you quit and the body is telling you don't go, the head, give up, you cannot make it, and you are saying, no, I believe that my God can supply all my needs according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus. You reload.
Hallelujah. Amen.
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 The Bible said Jesus gained favor with men and with God. Let's look at Luke chapter 2, verse 52. Luke 2, verse 52.
Praise Jehovah.
Amen.
Amen. Oh Lord, thank you. Thank you.
He said then, let me start from verse 51. He said then he went down to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. And was what? Obedient to them. But his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and with men. What was the first thing that happened? He grew in wisdom and in what? Stature. Amen?
Amen.
Without wisdom, you will not know how to do things right.
Yeah.
There has to be maturity in your life. There has to be growth in your way of thinking. There has to be growth in your Christian walk. There has to be understanding in your Christian walk in order for you to start understanding how to walk and how to do things so that the favor of God and the favor of men will come upon you.
Amen.
There is no way a man has no wisdom, a man has no understanding and wants favor.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Because of the Spirit of God in you, because of the grace in you, when you speak and you open your mouth, and they said, where did she get this wisdom?
Amen. Amen.
You see that? By then you drew their attention already. By then they are already thinking about your intelligence and your knowledge and your know-how. Because when you open your mouth, they hear you like no one else.
Amen.
He said Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature.
Yes.
That's why James said that he who lack wisdom, let him pray and ask for from the Lord, who giveth abundantly,
Yes.
liberally.
Yes. Liberal.
Wisdom is very key and first. You must ask for it. Because the key is that as the wisdom propels you and as you walk in faith, and I'm telling you, favor will come through man and through God.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Amen?
Amen.
There is no way you gain favor without wisdom. He said, wisdom comes from God. All these things, they come from God. But the end result you want is the favor. And that's why faith creates favor. When you have faith, then you have wisdom, then you start to do all that, and eventually you run into favor.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen?
Amen.
The same characteristics of wisdom, you will see it in Daniel. This same thing that was wisdom and stature that Jesus had, Daniel had it. Daniel had it. Joseph had it. If you look, Abraham had it. So, we must come to the understanding that in order for us to grow in wisdom and in stature, we must be obedient to the will of God.
Yes.
What did Jesus say in the book of John? He said, I only do what my Father asks me to do.
Hallelujah. Yes, God. Yes.
What's that? Obedience.
Yes.
He said he only say and do what the Father in heaven asked him to do. why won't he have favor with men and with God? So what do you do? Sometimes people say, Pastor, I say, man, I won't do what? No. You will gain favor. Ah, do you want favor?
Yes.
You do what it takes to gain favor. With God and with men.
Amen.
It takes obedience. Jesus was obedient to the Father. He listened to the Father. He do exactly what the Father asked him. He implemented. He said it exactly. That's why he got favor.
Praise God.
Faith creates favor.
Amen.
Let's look at the book of Daniel. Daniel chapter 1, verse 8 and 9. Daniel 1, verse 8 and 9. If you don't have wisdom, let me tell you this. God will send somebody into your life that will be a blessing to you. But because the person just utter one word, because the person just maybe insulted you, maybe by deliberately or indeliberately, when you don't have wisdom, what you do is that, get out of me. I don't want to see you anymore. I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to see you in my life anymore. You caught it. And yet, God said that I will take the wealth of the heathens and put it into your life. If a heathen is going to be a blessing to you, what makes you think a heathen will not curse at you? What makes you think a heathen will not do the wrong thing, that will insult you?
That's right. That's right.
Amen.
When God has positioned you to receive through him. You get what I'm saying? So there's a way you apply wisdom so that you don't drive away the favor God is trying to bring into your life. Amen?
Amen.
Let's look at Daniel 1. Yeah, Daniel. Starting from verse 8. He said, but Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine. And he asked the chief official for permission not to defile himself this way. Verse 9 said, now God has caused the official to show favor and sympathy to Daniel.
Thank God.
What led to God making Daniel to have favor from the official? Because Daniel knew what God wants him to do. Daniel then proposed in his heart and said, you know what? I resolve in my heart that I am going to do this. I'm not going to eat this food because this food will defile my body and my spirit because it will not honor my God. So I'm not eating it. And because of that, God already knew that he might be in trouble by saying that, and God showed him what? Favor. I just told you a while ago, my destiny is more important than my fleshly desires. But for many people, their fleshly desires is more important than their destiny. You see, the equation, when you don't understand how to make the equation balance, then you will go nowhere. If your destiny is more important than your fleshly desire, why don't you propose in your heart? Just like Daniel proposed in his heart. He made a commitment and made that decision and said, I will not defile myself.
Amen.
So as a child of God, instead of you continue to be saying, oh, God knows best. Oh, God knows best. Oh, God will make it happen. You need to reach out and say, I am determined to stand.
Amen.
Yes.
You got to propose in your heart.
Amen.
Favor. Favor. people don't see the alignment in the things. If you really truly start to look at the word of the things of God, you will start to see how they align. You understand? Now, let's look at Daniel 1:4. Daniel 1:4. Let's look at Daniel 1:4. He said, young men, he said, verse 3, he said, then the king ordered Ashpenaz, chief of his court officials, to bring in some of the Israelites from the royal family and the nobility, young men without any physical defect, handsome, showing aptitude for every kind of learning, well-informed, quick to understand, and qualified to serve in the king's palace. Amen?
Amen.
Isn't that wisdom
Amen.
and stature?
Amen.
He said Jesus grew in stature and in wisdom.
Amen.
These are the same qualities here. You understand?
Amen.
Remember earlier I was telling you some things that you need to start to position yourself. You need to start to allow the things, the talent inside of you. You got to start doing something so that they start coming out. They start coming out. Because I'm telling you, they said your talent will make room for you.
That's right. That's right.
Amen? At least to be in the pool, you got to bring something to the table. There has to be something. There were people that were left out of this group of people because they didn't even qualify.
Amen.
You get what I'm saying?
Praise Jehovah.
Yes.
You cannot just act any way, anyhow, and expect to have favor.
Amen. Hallelujah.
You can't just act any way, anyhow, and think that you will get favor. That is why, as a child of God, we must be very, very vigilant and sober.
Amen. Amen.
So that we have understanding of what we are doing and who we are and why we are doing what we are doing.
Right.
Amen.
These qualities bring confidence. They bring confidence. I thank God that He has shown me what I need to do, how I need to do it in order to prosper.
Amen. Amen.
It is a favor. It's a blessing. Why? Because I didn't waste my talent.
Hallelujah.
I didn't waste I knew the ability inside of me, and I knew what I wanted, and I knew how to go about it. It is so important and key. Where do you see yourself in this ministry 5 years from now? Are you all even looking at it? Do you even know it? Do you even see it? Things not seen. Evidence. Pastor have been hammering you, putting this into your mind, telling you where we are going, telling you where the ministry is going. Have you pictured yourself in that realm of the spirit and said, this is where I'm going to fit in, this is where I want to be, when this ministry get to this point, this is where, well, do you feel it?
Catch the vision.
You have to start feeling it. You know, you have to start feeling it. Because you can start to envision and know what a mega ministry is about. You start to understand where the branches are. What are the things we are going to be doing? Where do I fit in here? Lord, show me.
Show me, Lord.
Don't wait. You can't just wait for something to just happen.